Hello, welcome back to Kimby Originals Studio. Today we're going to do a big color book page. Big because it's bigger than my normal 8x10. This is 12 inches from this way to this way. And it is 6 and 12, 18 inches this way. So it's a good size piece of paper. You do you. You might want to just use a 5x7, but that's fine. And then I have my fine tip Sharpie. Well, it's an Amazon brand permanent marker Sharpie. And then I have my favorite, you've seen them before, Faber-Castells. You know that I tend to go with the M because it's a good little marker. All right, so I thought I would just do it big for a change. I'm always doing smaller, and I've been painting watercolor fish, and so we are going to work on some fish today. So you know fish have that beautiful tail that they have, and so I'm going to make sure I keep this, because it's bigger, my camera, I'm going to make sure it stays in the, I keep y'all in the screen. I don't lose you. I'm leaving this right here blank. I'm not finishing that fin over there because I'm actually going to put another fish on it. But gonna come up. Can you see that? Yeah. To where the little lips meet. And you know where the gill goes up. And again, for those of you who haven't done color book pages with me before, basically I do them every now and again because I love them. I upload them digitally. My patrons enjoy them. If you sign up to the digital page or digital patron. This year I'm trying to do them more frequently. It's just, you know, for all of us out there, it is good for us to take a minute and be creative, even if it's not something that you do easily, whether it's reading a book, writing a book, working in your journal, whatever that is. It's really good for the human spirit in so many ways. All right, so I'm going to let this fish go right here. I'll come back and fill him in because I want to go ahead. I will move this way so we can stay in the frame. And I want to go ahead and I want to get the fish at the bottom. I want to go ahead and get her. I think I will make her a her. Not that we ever know what sex of the fish is, but I want to go ahead and get her in. And let's see. It's so hard when I'm working on camera to make sure that I am paying attention to what it is I'm doing as well, especially if I'm freehanding. It is so hard to make sure. Okay, this body on this fish is a little bit smaller than the tail. That is hilarious. I don't know if there's such a fish out there, but if there is, here we go. If there's not, well, that's the part of the beautiful of creativity. We can make it so. So, as I told you before, I really want to have like a girl, like make it a little bit girly looking, like you just think it's a girl. You know why? I don't know why you would think it was a girl, but there we go. And again, we will come back and fill all this in. I just want to make sure I get all the fins and things in, because if I don't, I'll get busy talking and totally forget. Okay, so let's go ahead and close that in. Okay. Now, okay, so we're going to go at the top of the page. So we're at the top part of this page, and I'm going to put a good size fish. Let's see, go up here. Did a watercolor series recently with fish. I'm on the East Coast, so I tried to do fish that would be, you know, common in the Atlantic. Oh, I'm getting ready to mess. I hate that I just had to do this, but I'll figure out a design that kind of works that line in there. And because I was coming off of that, I thought, you know, it would be cool to do a color book page with fish. Because I have a lot of fisher people, fishermen, fisher ladies who are clients. And again, I am a big promoter these days of taking a minute and coloring it. I put a rooster out there on social media a few weeks ago, and my goodness, people were trying to buy it. I was like, oh, it's just a color book page that I already finished. I'm happy to give you sell you the digital copy, and you can print it off and color it yourself. It was quite interesting. Even my mother, she was hilarious. She goes, oh, I want it. I was like, oh my goodness. Anyway, okay, let's get this fin. I could have probably let that go off the page, but I don't want to. And then let's take this in and out. And then let's put this tail on this fish. All right, so right now we got 3. I like doing odd numbers, I will tell you. So I'm moving this up here. Let's see. Here's the, can you see that's how much space we have left. Let's see. I think I'm going to have one that is kind of going behind this guy. And let's see, if he were behind this guy, his face is going to be about right there. So let's go ahead and give him his little fins. Remember, when you're doing color book pages, it's so important to have clean lines. I end up spending so much time going back and cleaning mine up because I didn't follow my own rules. All right. I got even number. All right, let's do, I think I'm going to have one that's coming onto the page just a little bit, where you see there, just the face, and give it an eyeball. And then, okay, so we're going to start with the last one that we added. And we're going to add some designs in there. Working on this one, it took me a little while, but I did it on the fast thing so that you know, I didn't have to talk through it. But basically, you want to make sure before you move on to the next one that all of your lines are straight and they're connected and they make sense. Of course, if you're the one coloring it, it doesn't really matter, right? But if you're going to digitally upload it or anything, it's important to have it all about the same. And I added this at the last minute with the wrong marker, so I'm going back in with this. Okay, so there's one little head done. All right, we're going to move over to this guy over here. So we got this one a little bit done. I think I'm going to probably come back and add some bits in there just to make it a little more interesting than this one. You want to think about the person who's coloring this, whether it's yourself or somebody else. You know, what makes it fun? What adds it a little, you know, what's going to add in a little bit of pizzazz? I don't know, a little more than just big holes to fill in. So, and notice that I added more scales as we got closer to the end. So, I hope everybody's having a good 2024 so far. Ours has been pretty good. Thank goodness. I feel very blessed at this point. Had a little bit of scares, few crazy things, but we got through it. At least today we have. All right, so I'm putting in that last bit. There we go. So we got 2 of our 5 fish done. Let's move down to the bottom. And there we have it. We have 3 out of our 4 fish right here. We've got 2 more to do. Oh, can the creativity continue? I don't know. I'm worried about them being very samey, actually. So let's get this big guy up. So our final little fish, the very first one we started with. Let's see if we can just make it just a tiny bit different than all the others. I am going to go ahead and do the lines on his tail that are similar to some of the others, but I think I'm going to put something in them to make it more fun to color. As I've gone along, I have picked up the thicker Sharpie and tried to straighten up some of my lines. And while I have it, I'm gonna put in some darker design and these little fins. So it's a little tiny bit different. All right, so that's his little back body. Oh my goodness, I have a couple pair of pieces of paper, so it's a little crazy. All right, so I am going to get on in the face up here and do this also a little bit different. I'm going to do a little bit of what we call positive negative space. So I'm going to go ahead and take this away so that you don't have the option to color this. Just like in the eyes, I've done that a little bit. And it's just to make this one just a tiny bit different. You want to have, you know, in color books, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You always want to be always thinking about the design concepts. And it's always good to have one that it's kind of the focal point. And I think this one's going to be it for me. I think I'm going to do it a little bit different because I have some dark spots that I need to cover up. So I'm just going to utilize those opportunities to cover some of those spots up. And this fish is going to seem a little serious, I think. All right, and then down here, do his little fin. Again, I want to keep it similar, not exact, but similar. Okay, and then we have this one. This one, I'm just going to kind of like that. And then this one, I think we're just going to wiggle it. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. All right, now we've got this is the hardest part. This was the only one that had different scales. I mean, they're all different, but they're pretty much the same. This one, because so much else of him is different, I think I'm going to stay with the traditional scales. It also looks kind of cool with him having the scales go like that. Let's see, because this came down weird. I think actually instead of making that scales, I'm gonna color this in with the black. That's the other thing I love about these color book things. You can quickly pivot and change it up. Okay, there, that's fine. Okay, now so the scales, now we can bring it like this. Okay. And these I'm making a little bit bigger than the others, just because. And there you have it. We have our 5 little fish floating around in the sea. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some design in the background. The fish need water or something. I've gone back and all the places that didn't look like they were smooth line, I have tried to catch those. But as I do the water, or, you know, whatever's under the sea, like I started here, I I will try and catch whatever I need to catch to make sure it's all smooth. These lines, you know, under the water is so many different things. So I would just let your imagination run wild and not have rhyme nor reason as to what you have or how you have it. I think just giving the feeling that there's water, you know, some sort of movement is probably enough. So I want to make sure that there is movement and everything like I've been doing, but I hesitate because, you know, how much is somebody going to want to color? So that's why I have just some things like this where it's really just a line of indicates movement rather than something that you would actually color. And then I'll occasionally put in little bits that you know, can color. And I don't think it's necessary to do it everywhere. I think just sort of indicating that there is these little fishies are moving in the ocean. I think I'm gonna finish here at the top and maybe leave it like that. Here is our big color book page of all the little fish. I think I'm gonna have to color this, you guys. It's fun. I can just see all the beautiful blues and greens with some peaches and pinks in there. And I'm loving our girl. She's a little different, as is this leader of the pack. Well, another day in the studio. Please join me next Wednesday for something that'll be totally different than this. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and I would love a thumbs up. It helps grow my channel. Thanks, and have a great week.